Okay, so I have a question that's been bothering me for like 2 years now. Why do so many Japanese people retire comfortably in their 60s? Like, actually, comfortably, not stressed, not working part time to survive, not living on ramen, just peaceful. And meanwhile, Americans, who make way more money than Japanese people, are working until 70, stressed the entire time, worried about retirement, wondering if they'll have enough. So I started researching this. Deep dive, articles, YouTube videos, financial reports, trying to understand what Japan figured out that America didn't. And you know what I found? It's not about income. It's not about luck. It's not about the economy. It's 10 very specific habits. That's it. 10 habits rooted so deeply in Japanese culture that most Japanese people don't even realize they're doing them. But Americans? We don't do any of them. And that's exactly why we're struggling. So today, I'm going to break down all 10, what they are, why Japanese people do them naturally, and how you can start doing them today to completely change your retirement outcome. Because here's the thing. Once you understand these habits, you're going to see money differently forever, and your future is going to look a lot more peaceful. Let's go. Real quick though, if this question has been bothering you too, if you've ever wondered why other countries figured out what America hasn't, then you need to watch this entire video. So subscribe right now. I mean it. Because these 10 habits are going to completely rewire how you think about retirement. And you're not going to see that anywhere else. Okay, let's figure out why Japanese people retire comfortably. So before we get into the 10 habits, I gotta explain something. Japan's not richer than America. The average Japanese salary is actually lower than the average American salary. Their housing is expensive. Their cost of living is high. Everything costs money, just like it does here. So it's not that Japanese people have more money to work with. They literally have less. But somehow they retire more comfortably. They stress less about money. They build wealth more predictably. How? It's not complicated. It's not some secret investment strategy. It's not luck or privilege. It's culture. It's habits. It's how they think about money from childhood. And here's what's crazy. Most of these habits are completely free to implement. You don't need more money. You don't need a higher income. You don't need to risk anything. You just need to think differently. So let's break down the 10 habits that explain why Japanese people retire comfortably. Habit number 1. Okay, habit number 1. Kakeibo. It's pronounced kakaibo. And honestly, it's the most powerful budgeting method I've ever found. Here's what it is. It's a journal. But not a regular budget. It's mindful budgeting. You write down every purchase. By hand. In a journal. And as you write, something happens. Your brain wakes up. You start seeing patterns. You start realizing where your money actually goes. Americans use spreadsheets or apps. And they're useful, sure. But Kakeibo is different because it's intentional. You write it down. You see it. You feel it. The psychology works like this. When money is abstract, just a number on your phone, you don't feel it. When you physically write it down, your brain processes it differently. You become aware of the waste instantly. So here's how to apply it. Get a journal. Any journal. Write the date. Then write down every purchase. Coffee, lunch, gas, groceries, everything. Once a week, you review what you wrote. You ask yourself, did I need this? Was this intentional? What can I cut? That's it. But that simple act of writing and reviewing changes everything. Japanese families have been doing this for generations. Kids learn it young. By the time they're adults, they automatically know where their money goes. So they never waste it. Americans don't have that awareness. We just spend. And then we're confused at the end of the month. Kakebo fixes that. Start this week. Habit number two. Habit number two. Motainai. It's pronounced motainai. This one is wild because it's not even technically about money. It's about respect. Motainai means respecting resources, being grateful for what you have, not wasting anything because everything has value. In Japanese culture, wasting food is considered disrespectful to the farmers who grew it. Throwing away clothes is disrespectful to the workers who made them. Letting things break when you could fix them is disrespectful to the materials used. So Japanese people naturally waste less. They repair more. They reuse things. They buy less because they're conscious of the waste. And here's how it connects to retirement. When you waste less, you need less money. When you need less money, you need to earn less to be comfortable. When you need to earn less, you can retire sooner. It's that simple. Americans throw away food constantly. We buy new clothes instead of fixing old ones. We replace things when we could repair them. We consume, consume, consume. And then we're shocked that we need so much money to retire. So apply Matanai like this. Before you throw something away, ask, can this be fixed? Can this be reused? Can this be given to someone else? Before you buy something new, ask, do I really need this or am I just replacing something I wasted? This one habit will cut your spending dramatically. I'm not exaggerating. Start noticing how much you waste, and you'll be shocked. Japanese people don't have to think about this. It's just their culture. But you can learn it. And once you do, your relationship with money changes forever. Habit number three. Habit number three, hara-hachi-bu. It's pronounced hara-achi-bu. This one is about eating until you're 80% full. Not stuffed, not satisfied. 80% full. And I know what you're thinking. That's about health, not money. But actually, it's about both. Here's why. When you eat 80% full, you naturally eat less. You use less food. You spend less on groceries. But more than that, you're also healthier. So you spend less on medical bills. You don't gain weight. You don't develop health problems that cost money. Japanese culture teaches this from childhood. Kids learn portion control naturally. They learn to listen to their bodies. They're satisfied with less. Americans, we eat until we're stuffed. We supersize everything. We feel like if we're not completely full, we didn't get value. So we spend more on food. We waste food. We develop health problems. And then we're wondering why healthcare is so expensive. Harahachi. Bu solves all of that. Here's how to apply it. When you're eating, slow down. After each bite, check in with yourself. Am I 80% full? If yes, stop eating, even if there's food left on the plate. This feels weird at first, because Americans are taught to clean our plates. But think about it. That leftover bit of food doesn't taste better than not having a stomachache later. Plus, you'll save money on groceries immediately. You'll feel better. You'll have fewer health issues. It's a win on every level. Japanese people do this naturally. You can learn it. Start with your next meal. Habit number four. Habit number four, chokin. It's pronounced chokin. This one is huge. Chokin is automatic saving. But it's not just setting up a savings account and forgetting about it. It's a cultural value. It's the understanding that you always save first, before you spend on anything else. In Japan, it's completely normal to put money aside the moment you get paid. It's automatic. It's non-negotiable. It's like paying taxes, except you're paying yourself. Most Japanese families save 10 to 20% of their income automatically, not because they're rich, just because it's the culture. It's what you do. Americans do the opposite. We spend first. Then we save what's left over. Except there's usually nothing left over. So we never build wealth. Chokin fixes that by flipping the priority. Here's how to apply it. When you get paid, immediately move money to a separate savings account. Not a checking account you can access. A savings account that's separate. Do it the same day you get paid. Make it automatic if possible. So it's not a choice. It's just something that happens. Start with 10% if that's doable. If it's not, start with 5%. But something. The magic of Chokin is that it forces you to live on less. And when you live on less, you realize how much unnecessary stuff you were buying. Japanese people grow up doing this. So by the time they're adults, they've built massive savings. And they've never felt poor because it's all they know. You can do this too. Start today. Chokin. Habit number 5. Habit number 5. Tsumitate. It's pronounced tsumitatai. Tsumitate is consistent automated investing. It means you invest a fixed amount of money regularly. Same amount, same time. Every month. In Japan, tsumitate is so common that it has its own name. Most Japanese people do it without thinking about it. Money goes into investments automatically. They don't check it. They don't freak out about market drops. They just let it compound. And that's the entire secret. Americans try to time the market. We buy when we think it's low. We sell when we're scared. We constantly check our portfolios and make emotional decisions. So we usually buy high and sell low, which is literally the opposite of what we should do. Japanese people just invest a fixed amount consistently, whether the market is up or down. Rich or poor market, same investment amount. And that consistency is what builds wealth. Here's the math. If you invest $300 a month for 30 years at 8% average returns, you end up with like $567,000. But if you try to time the market and mess it up by just 2%, you end up with $200,000 less. Timing the market is hard. Consistent investing is easy. And consistent investing wins. So apply Tsumitate like this. Pick an amount you can invest monthly. Could be $50. Could be $500. Doesn't matter. Make it automatic. Put it in index funds. Don't touch it. Don't check it. Don't sell when you're scared. Just let it grow for 20, 30, 40 years. That's it. That's the entire strategy. Japanese people get this. It's why they retire comfortably. They let their money grow instead of constantly messing with it. You can do the same. Start this month. Habit number 6. Habit number 6. Kaizen. It's pronounced kaizen. Kaizen means continuous improvement, and it's not just about business. It's a life philosophy. In Japan, kaizen means constantly looking for small ways to improve everything. Your work, your home, your finances, your health, everything. It's the belief that you don't make one big change. You make tiny improvements constantly. So in terms of money, Kaizen means every month, ask yourself, what can I do slightly better with my money? Maybe I save an extra 1% this month. Maybe I cut one unnecessary subscription. Maybe I find a slightly cheaper grocery store. Small, tiny, barely noticeable improvements. But when you do that for 30 years, the compound effect is massive. Americans want the big solution. We want one magic hack that changes everything. We want to go on a diet that completely transforms us. We want one investment that makes us rich. And when we can't find it, we give up. But Kaizen says, don't look for the big solution. Just improve 1% every month. That's it. 1% better at saving. 1% better at spending intentionally. 1% better at investing. After 30 years, those tiny improvements turn into massive wealth. Here's how to apply it. Every month, pick one small improvement, just one. Maybe it's negotiating your insurance by 2%. Maybe it's meal prepping to save on food. Maybe it's cutting one subscription. Do that for 1 month. Then next month, pick another small improvement. Over a year, that's 12 small improvements. Over 30 years, that's 360 improvements. And 360 tiny improvements compound into a completely different financial life. Japanese people get this. It's embedded in their culture. Continuous improvement. Never done. Always getting slightly better. You can adopt this mentality too. Start with one small improvement this month. Habit number 7. Habit number 7. Danshari. It's pronounced danshari. Danshari means decluttering, getting rid of things you don't need, embracing minimalism. But it's not just about organization. It's about breaking the habit of accumulation. Most Americans feel like we need more stuff to be happy. More clothes, more gadgets, more things. So we buy constantly, and we fill our homes with clutter. And then we pay for storage for the stuff we don't even use. Japanese people think differently. They believe quality over quantity. One really good knife instead of 10 cheap knives. A few pieces of clothing that all match instead of a closet full of stuff you don't wear. And when you think this way, you spend way less money because you're not constantly buying new things. You're not replacing broken things. You're buying high-quality things that last. And you're actually using what you buy. So Danshari is about decluttering your life, which naturally declutters your spending. Here's how to apply it. Go through your home. Get rid of anything you haven't used in a year. Anything that doesn't bring you joy. Anything that's broken and you haven't fixed. Just get rid of it. Once you've decluttered, commit to not replacing it. If you throw away 10 shirts you never wore, don't buy 10 new shirts. Notice how that habit of mindless buying slowly goes away when your home is minimal. When there's no clutter, you stop wanting more stuff. When you stop wanting more stuff, you stop spending. When you stop spending, you build wealth. It's that simple. Japanese people naturally live more minimally. You can learn this too. Start decluttering this week. Habit number 8. Habit number 8. Shinise. It's pronounced shinise. Shinise means an established business or tradition that lasts for generations. It represents long-term thinking. In Japan, companies think in terms of 100 years, not next quarter. Families think about generational wealth, not this year's spending. It's a completely different time horizon. Most Americans think about money in terms of this year. How much do I make this year? How much can I spend this year? What can I retire with in 5 years? Japanese people think in terms of generations. What am I building for my kids? What am I building for their kids? And that shift in perspective changes everything. When you think long term, you don't take risky shortcuts. You don't get caught up in trends. You don't panic during downturns. You just keep building steadily, decade after decade. And after 40 years of steady building, you have massive wealth. Because compound interest works best over long periods. Here's how to apply it. Stop thinking about next year's money. Start thinking about 30 years from now. What do you want your financial life to look like in 30 years? Work backwards. What do you need to do today to make that happen? Then do it. Not because you'll see results next year, but because in 30 years, your future self is going to be so grateful. This is Shine Eyes. Long-term thinking. Japanese people get this naturally. They're raised with it. You can adopt it too. Start thinking like your decisions today matter in 30 years. Because they do. Habit 9. Habit number 9. Wabi-sabi. It's pronounced wabi-sabi. Wabi-sabi means finding beauty in things that are imperfect, incomplete, or simple. In Japanese culture, a chipped teacup is more beautiful than a perfect one. A simple garden is more beautiful than an ornate mansion. A worn book is more beautiful than a pristine one. And here's why this matters for money. Wabi Sabi rejects the idea that newer, more expensive, more perfect things are better. Americans are obsessed with perfection. We want the latest, the biggest, the most expensive, the newest. So we constantly feel like what we have isn't good enough. We're always upgrading. We're always buying the new version. And it's a never-ending cycle that costs a fortune. Japanese people find beauty in what they have. A simple meal, a worn sweater, an old home. They appreciate these things instead of constantly wanting to replace them. So they naturally spend less, and they're happier with what they have. Wabi Sabi is about breaking the constant need for more. Here's how to apply it. Look around your home. Find something that's not perfect. Maybe it's a scratched table. Maybe it's faded curtains. Maybe it's a worn chair. Instead of replacing it, appreciate it. Notice the beauty in the imperfection. When you can do that with your possessions, you stop wanting new things constantly. You stop feeling behind. You stop comparing yourself to people with newer stuff. You just appreciate what you have. And when you appreciate what you have, you stop spending. And when you stop spending, you build wealth. Wabi Sabi is powerful for that reason. It breaks the American habit of constant consumption. Japanese people live this way naturally. You can learn it too. Start appreciating the imperfect things in your life. Habit number 10. Habit number 10. Ikigai. It's pronounced ikigai. Ikigai means purpose, reason for being. It's the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what pays the bills. In Japan, ikigai is huge. People don't just work for money. They work because their job has meaning. And here's the connection to retirement. When you have ikigai, you're less likely to spend money trying to fill a void. Americans feel disconnected from our work. We work jobs we hate to buy stuff we don't need. And then we spend all that stuff trying to feel happy. It's a cycle of working and working more and spending more. But Japanese people have ikigai. Their work is meaningful, so they don't need to fill the void with consumption. They're satisfied with less stuff because they're satisfied with their lives. And that satisfaction is what lets them retire comfortably. Because they didn't spend half their income trying to escape their job. Here's how to apply it. Think about your job. Does it have purpose? Are you good at it? Does it matter? If the answer is no to all three, that might be your problem. You're working a job you hate to buy stuff that doesn't make you happy. Find work that has purpose, even if it pays slightly less. Because when your work has meaning, you stop spending so much on escaping it. And when you stop spending on escape, you build wealth. Ikigai is the final habit because it ties everything together. Japanese people retire comfortably because they have meaningful work and intentional lives. So they don't need as much money to be happy. You can do the same. Find your ikigai and watch how your spending naturally decreases. So let's recap. These are the 10 habits that explain why Japanese people retire comfortably. Kakebo, mindful budgeting. Motainai, respecting resources. Hara hachibu, eating until 80% full. Chokin, automatic saving. Tsumitate, consistent investing. Kaizen, continuous improvement. Danshari, decluttering. Shinice, long-term thinking. Wabi-sabi, finding beauty in imperfection. Ikigai, purpose-driven living. None of these are complicated. None of them require more money. None of them are secrets. They're just different from how Americans think. And when you adopt them, your relationship with money changes. Your stress about retirement disappears. Your future becomes clear. Because you're not trying to earn your way to wealth. And that's what Japanese people figured out that America hasn't. But here's what really gets me about this. American culture tells you, make more money. That's the answer. Work harder. side hustle, optimize, grind. And we believe it. So we work ourselves to death trying to earn more. But Japanese culture tells you something different. It says, your income is what it is. So be intentional with it. Don't waste. Don't accumulate. Don't consume mindlessly. Be aware. Be grateful. Be patient. And if you do that, you'll have enough. And you know what? They're right. Japanese people don't make more than Americans, but they retire more comfortably because they're intentional. They don't earn their way to wealth. They build it through discipline. And that's so much more sustainable because earning more has a ceiling. You can only work so hard. You can only add so many hours. But being intentional, that has no ceiling. You can always find one more way to waste less, to appreciate more, to be more aware. And that continuous improvement compounds into massive wealth over time. So the real answer to why Japanese people retire comfortably isn't money. It's consciousness. It's awareness. It's intention. And that's something you can learn today. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one of these 10 habits, just one, this week. Maybe it's kakebo. Start a budgeting journal. Maybe it's danshari. Start decluttering. Maybe it's chokin. Start saving automatically. Maybe it's kaizen. Make one small improvement to your finances. Pick one. Commit to it. Do it for 30 days. And watch what happens. Because once you feel the difference one habit makes, you'll be motivated to add another. And once you have 2 habits, you'll be motivated to add a third. And over time, you'll have all 10. And in 5 years, your finances will be completely different. In 20 years, you might be able to retire early. In 30 years, you might be retired comfortably like Japanese people, even on an average income. It's not magic. It's just intention. So start today. If this video helped you understand something about retirement you didn't before, please subscribe. Because over the next few weeks, I'm breaking down each of these 10 habits in detail. I'm showing you exactly how to implement them. I'm showing you the math behind how they compound. And I'm showing you what your financial life could look like if you commit to these habits. But you're only going to see that if you subscribe. So hit the subscribe button right now. Also, comment below. Tell me which of these 10 habits resonates with you the most. Which one are you going to start this week? I read every comment. I answer them. And your comment might spark an idea for my next video. So let me know. And finally, watch the related videos. I've made videos on compound interest, on behavioral finance, on decision-making at financial thresholds. They all tie into this idea that wealth is built through intention, not just income. So watch those. Understand the full picture. And then start applying these habits. Your future self is counting on you to make this decision today. So what are you waiting for? Start with one habit this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.